G'day gamers, welcome to New Design. Gonna be moving into part 4 of my ultimate gaming PC build. As you can see, this is gonna be focusing on the motherboard, and for my motherboard I picked up the Asus Republic of Gamers Strix Z370-E Gaming Edition. A whole lot of jumble there, but essentially the reason I picked this is because, for one, not a whole lot of options available for the i7-8700 just yet, and this was kind of the one that looked the coolest. And if I'm being frank, that really is the reason that I actually picked it, is because it kind of looked the coolest and had the most RGB capabilities. Right in my hand there is basically the antenna that you attach to the back plate, or to the plugs around the back plate there, and what that is for is to boost your Wi-Fi signal, because this motherboard does have Wi-Fi capabilities. Again, completely useless for my build because I don't need it for that. I have a hardwired connection, which I trust more anyway. As you can see, it is a pretty sweet looking motherboard. It does have direct connection ports on it for RGB, and you can use the Asus software for adjusting the colors and everything like that. Again, an important thing for me because this is going to be an RGB build and I wanted it to look awesome. Kind of backfired on me a little bit though, because the shroud RGB that comes with this isn't working. Still can't get it working. Not 100% certain what it is, but either way, it's causing me a bit of an issue that I'm hoping to fix out and sort out later on. As you can see, that book actually did have a fold in it, and that's because the original recording of this crashed, so I had to kind of put everything back in the box and redo it. Right here, we've got all the software that comes with it, which is the RGB software, and essentially all the programs that you need. As we get into the base here, you'll see that there's all kinds of wires. You got your SATA cables, a bunch of different connectors, as well as a controller for the additional fan, which is essentially for overclocking. You can see the additional fan bracket is in my right hand there, and that kind of plugs in right beside where the CPU will go. We've got some cables for wire management, the back plate right here, and a couple other odds and ends that we have here to kind of assist. This here is going to be your SLI bridge that it comes with, which is actually a pretty decent high-end SLI bridge. If you need it, I won't, because I'm going to be running a GTX 1080 Ti for the Win Edition, so hopefully that'll be enough for all my needs. It's also got a CPU, kind of basically something to help align the CPU when you throw it in there, but again, something that I'm not going to bother using because I've installed quite a few of them. You're going to see some little, actually I'll go over some tips when you're going to be installing this. The first thing, obviously, you want to do is put the back plate in first, because if you don't, it's going to be an absolute nightmare for you. So you're going to see that I start with that. In addition to that, I have an anti-static thing attached to my wrist, so you'll see kind of the wire for it flipping around, and I've attached that to the tower. And the reason for that is because I don't want to have some static electricity go into this motherboard and cause me to have to go spend another 300 bucks on a motherboard. I don't have that kind of money to just throw away, so we're going to take some precautions with it. Also, it actually came for free when I bought this motherboard, and it ended up being Newegg ended up throwing it in for free. So that was kind of a benefit as well. What I like to do as well here, you'll see that the computer, or the tower, is actually laying on its back right now. I go ahead and line up the actual motherboard with the back plate, just so that I can see that everything is lined up on its side. I can go to the back and make sure that everything lined up properly. Once I figure that's all done and all sorted, everything's aligned properly and check it, what I then do is stand the tower on its back, or towards the back plate, so that I can kind of use gravity to hold the motherboard in place. When you're doing that, make sure that you have some kind of counter pressure on the motherboard so that it doesn't fall out and smash. That would be extremely bad. You don't want to have that happen. And basically all you're going to do right now is install the 9 bracket screws. Basically what they're going to do is attach to your motherboard. There should be 9 screws in this specific board, and I think almost all motherboards have 9 screws to them. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and that's going to be pretty much it to this. You can see actually I've already installed the i7-8700K, but that's actually going to be my next video, part 5, where I unbox the i7-8700K and install it to the motherboard. And then following that, we'll have our Kraken X52 installation for the liquid cooling as well. And I hope you guys join me for those videos, because this is going to be pretty awesome. Pretty excited to show you guys this computer, especially because it's gonna look pretty amazing with all the RGB, or at least in my head right now, it looks like it's gonna be amazing for the RGB. Anyway guys, thanks very much for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit that like button. If you guys are looking forward to anything else or want to know anything else about this, please go ahead and make a comment in the comments below. I'll see if I can answer your questions. Anyway gamers, thanks for watching.